Hi guys! So we're back, more Desperate Housewives stuff, you know that. And now we're going to play the dinner for the second time, and then we're going to the third time, and then we're going to the ending. And we're gonna play Corsetti now, and then Eric. We might be able to, squeeze in both of them actually in the same episode. Because I'll skip through the dialogue already seen. We won't, see the episode ending cutscenes and stuff like that. So, we might actually do both of them now. Which would be nice to be able to do. Yes, hello,
hi, honey. It's me.
Phone call. Hello.
That's cute. So, there's something I want to...
We'll do the same.
I wanted to give you... Well, for starters... Whoa, what? This isn't about... You're looking at my personal files, checking up on my office.
It's about you.
And then it dawned on that man's all... On top of that, I don't trust...
We'll do Corsetti.
Oh, please. There's something about that guy that doesn't sit right with me. Sometimes he's a class act. Other times, he behaves like a common criminal. I've even heard some people say that he has ties with the mob. Do you believe that?
Actually, yes, I do.
You think he has mob ties, and that doesn't bother you? How can you say that? He's a shady character, and your friendship with him, if you can even call it that, puts everyone around you in danger. Don't you care about us?
Nope.
So, I'm putting my foot down about this. I don't want you to have any more contact with him. There's nothing else to say. Anyway, I have to get back to work, and I probably won't be home until you're asleep. Goodbye.
Sure, whatever. So what? Oh, okay, more phone calls.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
Okay. I most certainly did, but I have to say I don't know what it's supposed to mean to me. Sure, I got the package, and guess what? My husband found a way to avoid all the questions I asked about it. Yes, I did.
You probably have a lot of questions right now. Luckily, I happen to know a lot of answers, but they're the kind of things I need to tell you in person. I was thinking, tonight around 8:30, I'll come over to your place. I assume you'll be able to get rid of your husband long enough for us to talk in private.
Oh, a diversion with Minister. He's making it a point to avoid me lately.
I know this is sudden. I hope my visit doesn't upset your plans too much.
I'll have to postpone dinner a bit, but Riley shouldn't mind.
Good. You can expect me at 8:30.
Cool. Speed up time. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Should really pause at the time speeding, but what the heck. Blah blah blah. You can watch Riley, running around doing absolutely nothing. Well, he's eating and watching himself in the mirror, apparently. So that's what his life is about. It seems. Okay, sitting up in the sofa. Checking himself in the mirror. Making some music. Sitting in the sofa. Wow, his AI is really, really advanced. Okay, whatever. Let's do a really simple meal because nobody cares, apparently. So, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Da-da-da-da, and that one. Oh, how perfect, almost. Except, the chopping of the banana. And this is amazing. And there he is at the door. Whoa, open the door. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Hello. We have a lot we need to talk about.
Get in here, you. I've been thinking about you all day. No, really not. Come in, Vincent. Hey, there you're here. Let's make this quick. I don't know when my husband's going to get home. Come right in. I've been expecting you.
Dinner was excellent. My compliments to the chef.
Why, thank you. Oh, this just is something I threw together.
Yeah, I guess I should let you two go ahead and do your thing.
Do what?
Talk amongst yourselves. Discuss. Catch up on old times. Whatever it is that people around your age do. I have some friends of mine I'm hanging out with tonight anyways. Later.
Calm down. He's a young man. I'm sure he has important things to do, right?
Yeah, I have things to do and people to see, too.
You can leave, but make sure you're back before
Cool.
midnight.
Thanks. I'm out of here. Mr. Corsetti, you should hang out around here more often.
Teenagers are an interesting bunch, don't you think?
Yeah, but you and he seem to really connect. They are, and thank goodness I only have one, or I would have pulled out my hair with all the interesting dilemmas they put you through. If by interesting you mean troublesome, then yes.
What can I say? I usually get along pretty well with kids.
Great, it makes one of us. That's good to hear, but I know you didn't come by to make friends with my teenage son, so what's up?
Yeah, there are some things I've been meaning to talk to you about. First off, I know you've been talking with Eric Larson, and I want to set things straight with you.
You're a mob leader? Good luck. Okay, I'm listening. Alright, go for it.
For some time now, Eric's been holding a grudge against me over something that happened a long time ago.
Eric doesn't seem like the type to hold grudge, and that was... You're gonna have to do a lot better than that if you want me to believe you, Vin. I want details.
The details aren't really that important. All you really need to know is that he's using his job as an FIB investigator to harass me, as well as my associates.
Because you're a criminal?
And he'll tell you anything to get you on his side. I'm telling you, you can't trust that guy.
Maybe I'm being too literal here, but I thought you were coming over to talk about what you sent me. Well, you've definitely given me some food for thought, but couldn't you have told me that over the phone? I'll take that into consideration, Vincent. Is that all you had to say?
Oh, and about that package. Have you figured out why I had it sent yet?
I have a good idea, but why don't you tell me? No, I haven't. Why don't you stop playing games and just tell me? Nope, care to fill me in?
There were 3 items inside the box. A sonogram, a photo, and a journal. The photo is of your husband's first wife, before her untimely passing, of course.
He killed his first wife? That's who it was, his ex-wife?
I don't know her name, but she's the one that he refers to in the journal, before she dies under his care.
Well, I guess he was sort of telling me the truth back then. The husband, about his ex-wife, although, you know, he called her a patient.
And I assumed the sonogram was just a memento of your son's birth.
Seem to remember there was something else in the box. Oh, so you covered the first 3 things, but there were 4 items in that box. Which leaves a stack of documents about amnesia.
What? Wait a minute. There was something else in there?
Lol.
God damn it. Leo is such an idiot. I specifically told him to...
What did you make that face for? Something wrong? Leo? Are you still keeping that guy around? I thought he'd be sleeping with the fishies by now.
Sorry. One of my associates must have accidentally put some paperwork from the pharmaceutical branch into the package.
Lol.
It's nothing to be concerned about. I apologize for the mix-up, and I think it's actually sleep with the fishes, not fishies.
Meh.
But that's besides the point. I'm sure you need some time to digest all this. But before I go, do you have any questions?
Apparently not. Whoa! Hello! Now he's coming home. And he didn't knock this time. Drama! He is slow.
Hey, I ran into our son in the driveway and he said that we had a guest over for dinner. What's going on here?
You told me that you will be home when I was asleep. I am not asleep at 8:30 or 9 or whatever it is now.
Please, sit down. There's plenty of leftovers.
Vincent Corsetti. What the hell are you doing in my house?
Please, call me Mr. Corsetti.
I can think of a couple of things I'd like to call you.
That's enough, you two.
If you don't mind, Vincent, I want to talk to my wife.
To be honest, it doesn't look like she wants to talk to you.
Actually, you know what? I would like to talk with him. It was nice talking to you, Vincent. Good night. No, I don't. But given that this is the first time he's come home at a reasonable hour, and he's my husband and all, I guess I can make the sacrifice. To be honest, I would much rather spend time with my husband than waste another second with the likes of you. Do you remember where the door is? You remember where the door is, don't you, Vincent?
Maybe it's about time I leave. Sounds like the two of you have a lot to talk about. And oh, don't forget what I told you. You folks have a good evening.
What the hell is he even doing here at this hour?
Funny, I was about to ask you the same thing. I'm still allowed to do that, aren't I?
Who do you think you're talking to?
Since we don't really talk anymore, I really can't say. You're a stranger to me now. I'm lying sneak. I'm talking to you, dear, wonderful husband. The same man who keeps deep, dark secrets from me and expects me to look the other way and never question him. Since we don't really talk anymore, I really can't say.
In any relationship.
And we're back for the third dinner, where we're getting Eric Larson, who's obviously the person that will give you the most information about whatever. Maybe we'll know what he was going to say to us now. And I don't know, I guess Kurt will be the one coming home or something, you know, or maybe it's Corsetti suddenly knock on the door, although that seems a little far-fetched. But yeah. La 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 la. And
Hi, honey. It's me.
blah blah blah.
That's cute.
Blah
So
blah
there's some.
blah blah.
Well, I wanted.
Blah blah.
Well, for starters.
Blah blah.
Whoa, this
Blah,
isn't
blah,
about me
blah,
looking at
blah.
my personal files. Check.
Blah blah.
And then it dawned on me. That
Blah,
man's
blah,
all
blah,
on top of
blah.
that. I don't trust him.
Shut
He's up to something.
up.
And I think you know exactly who I'm talking about.
There's no way. There's no way to talk about Eric.
Oh, please. The guy's just using that whole FIB thing as an excuse to pry into our lives. Did you know he was snooping around my office the other day?
Kurt, I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation. He was probably looking for evidence of Daniel's murder case. I didn't know that, but what's the matter?
He was asking about you. So it had nothing to do with investigating Daniel's murder.
I didn't even say that, but sure. He probably just didn't want to tell you why he was there. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sure there's still a reasonable explanation. You shouldn't jump to conclusions.
Anyway, I don't want you talking to him anymore. He's trouble. I have work I need to get back to, and I probably won't be home until you're asleep. But don't forget what I said.
Okay, so we're basically having dinner until like 11 or 12 in the evening, and then he comes home.
Goodbye.
Yeah, bye-bye. So, we're gonna get another phone call, I guess. Yep.
Good, I'm glad I got in touch with you. There's something I need to talk to you about right away.
Well, here's your chance. Spill it. Okay, alright, I'm all ears.
No, not over the phone, in person, and the sooner the better. I was thinking tonight around 8:30.
The sooner the better. It's like 5 hours until then.
I'll do you a favor and stop by your place. Also, I assume you'll be able to divert your husband long enough for us to talk in private? There are some things I have to tell you that I'm more than certain he won't want to hear.
You don't need to worry about him. He won't be home for some time. Kurt himself said he won't be home until very late. You can come by whenever you please.
I know this is sudden, and I hope I'm not inconveniencing you in any way, but trust me, this is really important.
Postpone dinner, blah blah blah, blah blah.
Great. You can expect...
Ha la la la. Okay. So, I'm actually gonna pause while I fast forward now because, you know, I've already seen that twice and it's incredibly interesting. I'm gonna wash some dishes though. Blah blah blah. And now it's 8 p.m. and we will cook something really simple again, banana meatloaf. It's supposed to be the easiest recipe in the game. And it probably is. Okay, it is. It seriously is. And oh, I forgot to preheat the oven. Woohoo. Well, we have time for that, but you know. That's what you get when you don't read the recipes through before you start cooking, which I tend to do when I cook for real. It doesn't always turn out so well. Although, I didn't do it the way Felicia Day did it in one of her blog episodes or whatever. When she, I don't know, you know, how serious, like, how for real it is, but she was gonna break bread, and then she suddenly realized that the bread had to, lie in wait for like 17 hours, and I was like, oh crud. Well, and there he is. It's just on time. They are always just in time. Let's go open the door before he's even here. Aw, shoot, he won the contest. Anyhow, or the race rather, but hello.
Good evening.
Get in here, you. I've been looking forward to your visit since you called. Get right in, Eric. I've been expecting you. Hey, there. You're here. Let's make this quick. I don't know when my husband's going to get home.
You know, you didn't have to prepare a meal for me. A glass of wine or bottled water would have been enough.
He's like, in a way, the most nicest of them. I cooked a little too much this evening, so the food would have gone to waste otherwise. Nonsense. You're our guest.
I suppose you're right.
Hey, I don't mean to be rude, but since the two of you are still eating and I'm done, I'm gonna head out to hang with some friends. See you later.
You know, you're supposed to excuse yourself before you leave, not after.
Why would I do something like that? Who the hell are you to even bring that up?
The reason why is because she's your mother, and she didn't have to make dinner for you at all.
Oh, fine. Mother, may I please be excused from the table to fraternize with my schoolmates?
Once you promise to never use that voice again. No, you may not. Yes, you may, and thank you for asking so nicely.
Alright then, see ya.
Kids are, an interesting bunch, aren't they?
If interesting is a euphemism for supremely annoying, then yes. As a species, they are fascinating. As members of your family, it can get a little old. Yes, but you seem to know just what to say to him, Eric.
Believe it or not, I was a teenage boy once too, so I can commiserate.
Really? He's not leaving?
He probably didn't want to be stuck here listening to two old fogies talk about boring adult things. Hell, who can blame him? Sometimes I bore myself.
That is wonderful. Oh my god. Seriously, Riley's not leaving? He left to the other dinners. Okay. Yeah, sounds like him. Two old fogies? Speak for yourself. Nothing? I certainly hope you didn't come all the way here just to talk about boring adult things.
It's a good thing he left, though. Now we can talk about more serious things.
He hasn't left. He's still there. What the? What? He's sitting right there. Oh my god, glitch. It doesn't matter. It's just... You sounded pretty serious on the phone earlier. What do you want to tell me? Okay, what do you want to tell me? Alright, I'm listening, but make it quick.
If you remember, you came dangerously close to getting on Vincent Corsetti's bad side.
I did.
I'm glad I stopped you, because the last time you did something like that, it got you into some serious trouble. And I don't want to see that happen to you again.
I'm sorry, I don't remember that. When was I ever on Vincent's bad side? What are you talking about?
Well, I've already told you about his position in the mob, but I never told you how hard he worked to get there. While rising through the ranks, Vincent found out that the one thing that was keeping him going was also the same thing that was holding him back. It was you.
Whoa.
His superiors saw you as a liability, one that he had to take care of to prove his devotion to the family. That's why you disappeared. Vincent had you rubbed out. Or so he thought.
Holy baloney.
I can't even imagine what was going through his head when he saw you again at the fashion show. Then when he realized you had no memory of him or who you were back then, it must have sent him over the edge.
You know what? I believe you. You're making some outrageous claims here, Eric. Do you have any proof? Do you really expect me to believe that load of crap?
Tell you what, tomorrow I'll take you to my office and show you proof. Everything about you, Vincent, and the last 20 years of your life.
And I thought my husband was weird. Wait, what? There's more? I don't know what to say.
There's only a bit more left. And it's actually about your husband.
Yes, please tell me. Let's get over with then. I'm still listening. Of course it is. What did he do now?
I
Riley,
came
get out
across
of
some
here.
information I thought you might want to know regarding his ex-wife.
I'm sorry, Eric, but you must be mistaken. My husband wasn't married before he met me. Regarding his what? Are you sure you got the right Kurt North?
Bear with me. You're his second wife. I've seen the marriage certificate. His first wife came down with a rare blood disease, and for some reason, he decided to treat her himself at home. And judging by the number of journals he read and experimental medicines he ordered, he did everything he could to save her. But in the end, he couldn't stop the disease's progress, and she passed away.
Riley, why are you still here? Go fraternize with your schoolmates. I find hard to believe all of this could have happened. I had no knowledge of it. That is impossible. There's no way you wouldn't tell me about something like this. And just when did all this supposedly take place exactly?
All of this happened a very long time ago. It was around the time that you and Vincent were still together, Mary.
Okay, you really need to stop with that. That's creepy. You're really stuck on this whole calling me Mary thing, aren't you? Mary?
This must be completely overwhelming. I wanted to tell you in small doses, but with all that's going on, you deserve to know everything, right now. You have to ask yourself 2 questions. First, what kind of man attempts to have the woman he loves murdered? And secondly, what kind of man neglects to mention that he watched his first wife die a painful and slow death?
Well, he might not want to talk about it, but I guess he could have told me that first I was his second wife. And he is home. Oh my god. What is happening? So yeah, Eric gives the most information about our past lives and stuff, so I guess that if you're playing the game once, you would have actually wanted to go for Eric. Although, you know, reaction with Kurt was pretty cool too.
Hey, I ran into our son in the driveway and he said that we had a guest over for dinner.
Really?
What's going on
You
here?
ran into Riley in the driveway? That is very interesting because he's still here. That is nice.
Look, I don't want to cause any trouble. Maybe it's best if I just leave.
Come on, Eric, the party's just getting started. No, Eric, wait. Great idea, Eric. The sooner you leave, the better.
What the hell is he even doing here at this hour?
We were just talking. I'm still allowed to do that, aren't I?
Who do you think you're talking to?
Since I don't really talk... Oh, well, it's just the same. Blah, 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 blah. Since we don't really talk anymore, it's hard to say. So I skipped the cutscene at the end of that episode of the game because we've already seen that once in the last episode, or in the last, Let's Play episode. So we don't really have to see that again, but we are going to see the cutscene that intros the next episode because I think that was pretty short, well, kind of, but it also gets, well, us in the right mood for playing the ending of the game, right?
Over the years, I've learned the hard way that there are no simple choices in life. Since my departure, things seem to have gotten even more complicated for my friends on Wisteria Lane, as well as my newest neighbor. Indeed, making a choice between the status quo, the chance to live on the edge, or to rekindle a long-lost passion is a difficult and complicated affair. But sometimes we find ourselves with no other option than to make a choice, and we can find the very decision liberating in and of itself.
Look who's here. So glad you could finally join us. I'd offer you a seat, but Eric and your husband took the last 2 chairs.
What do you do to them? Vincent? Eric? What are you two doing here? What's going on here?
Not much. I was just strolling through the neighborhood and ran into these 2. I figured the 4 of us could have a nice little chat.
Oh, is that why you didn't gag them as well? You want to talk? It's not funny, Vincent. Where are they tied up? What's going on here? A gun-toting mamma has tied up my friends and family. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not in a very talkative mood.
Hey, it's just like I said. I was right outside your house when I ran into my old friend here, Eric.
Which we saw in the cutscene that I skipped this time.
We're not friends, Corsetti.
Whoa! When did you move your chairs, dudes?
We ran into each other and caught up on old times. You see, he's been watching me. But what he didn't know is that I've been watching him too. Today was supposed to be the big revelation, wasn't it, Eric? It still is, but not quite in the way you were hoping.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Vincent. I know everything now. Why don't we start by revealing what made Vincent Corsetti lose his mind? There's nothing you can tell me that I haven't already figured out on my own.
There are people who want you to think of me as a bad guy, someone who shouldn't be trusted under any circumstances. But they're wrong. Dead wrong. Tonight, you're going to find out who the men in this room really are. And by the end of the evening, you're going to make a choice. You're gonna pick the man you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Hello? Why do you get to decide that?
Of course, if you decide that you want me sooner than that, I'll understand. Why don't you start out by asking a couple of questions? See what everyone here has to tell you.
Okay.
In case you're tempted to try anything funny, I've cut your phone line and disabled your computer. And don't be stupid and try to run off. I've got eyes in the back of my head.
I'm sure you have, because you're not creepy at all.
I've got a guy just outside keeping a close watch on the place. No one's getting in or out unless I say so.
I'll do whatever it takes to see to it that no one gets hurt, but I'm not sure what you want from me. Is all this really necessary, Vincent? Can't you just untie them so we can talk like normal adults? Come on, Vincent. What could they possibly have to tell me that I don't know already?
Trust me, there's a lot you don't know about the men sitting in this room. Ask them whatever you want. Given the circumstances, it's in their best interest to answer honestly.
Does that include you? Wait, do I get to ask everyone? Or am I going to have to replay again? Shoot! Okay. Kurt, what kind of life should I expect if I choose to stay with you? So, Vinny, let's say I choose to be with you over these other two guys. What would our life be like? Eric, what would you do for me if we walked out of this house together? What would our life be like together? Okay, so we're basically asking everyone the same thing. Sure.
One thing's for certain. Things need to be different. I'll do whatever you want. Marriage counseling, a family therapist, whatever it takes. I just don't want to lose you. I can't live without you.
I like what I'm hearing, Kurt. Sounds good, but only time... Oh, bleh. Only time will tell if you can actually make good on your promise. You know something? I can swear I've heard you say those exact same things before. You have to forgive me if I don't believe you. Okay, I get to... Good. Okay, Vincent.
That's a good question. I see you haven't lost all your smarts. You'll live a life of luxury. I'll see to it that you can have everything you've ever wanted. You'll never have to cook another meal or clean a house ever again.
It's nice to know I'd be well taken care of, but I noticed you didn't mention how you treat me. Well, that's a compelling argument, Vincent. Ooh, lots of money and no more mindless housework. I like the sound of that. I actually like this answer best. You didn't mention how you treat me. Eric.
Well, you could expect me to make an honest living, provide you with everything you need and some of the things you want. I'd be home every night in time for family dinner, and I'd treat you like you deserve to be treated, with respect.
Actually, liking Eric the most, as a person, but I know.
On a federal agent's salary, I wouldn't be able to hire anyone to take care of the housekeeping. But on the other hand, I can guarantee you I'll never hire anyone to take care of you, like Corsetti did once upon a time.
I don't need anyone to take care of me. I'm doing just fine on my own. I'm not that old, I can take care of myself. Thank you very much. Excuse me, what was this last part?
Don't pay any attention to him. He'll say whatever he thinks he needs to in order to save his sorry hide.
You mean like you? Because seriously, I think you're doing that too.
Vinny's the one you shouldn't listen to, Mary. He doesn't want you to remember what he did to you, because if you did, you wouldn't have anything to do with him.
All right, that's enough out of you, Larson. Zip it.
Thanks, Eric. I wanted to hear what you had to say. Yeah, I've heard more than enough from you for now. Okay, so far I like what I'm hearing, but I'm looking for more specifics.
It sounds like you've gotten some interesting information from everyone in the room. What's your next question?
Bleh. Kurt, after all is said and done, if I were to pick you tonight, where would you take me and what would we do together? Vincent, after all is said and done, where would you take me? Where would you take me? Okay.
If? There's an if? I'm your husband. Love, honor, and obey. Did you forget that little part?
Excuse me, but you do quite often come off as a jerk. It's like you think you own me. I'm sorry, no?
Actually, there's a lot to consider, whether she knows it or not.
I know how you feel, but if we must do what Vincent asks of us, he's more likely to let us go with our lives. Vincent, don't get ahead of yourself. I'm merely complying with the demands of a gun-toting madman. Yes, Vin is right. I'm just considering all my options. Vincent?
I would take you to a little out-of-the-way French restaurant I know of that makes the best creme brulee you'll ever have.
Like Brie?
After that, we'll head back to my estate, open a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, and let things progress naturally.
Vincent, it sounds like a wonderful evening. So, let me get this straight. Your plan for the evening is to film me after dessert, get intoxicated, and see what happens? Sounds like fun. Oh, come on, Vincent. A little cliche for you, isn't it? I think you can do better than that. And Eric.
I'd take you down to the local police precinct and have you give a written statement about everything that happened tonight. Why do you ask?
He is like the best dude ever. Thanks, Eric. This sounds like a really exciting night. What do we do for dessert? You take me to a donut shop? Eric, I was asking to get a better idea of what I would expect from you in terms of relationship. Well, yes, I figured that much, but oh, never mind. With everything I've heard tonight, I'm kind of wondering how much of it was the truth, which begs the question.
You've got a lot to consider right now, so I'd say we're just about finished. Do you have any final questions for us?
Is there anything you haven't been completely honest with me about in the past you want to tell me right now? Is there something dishonest you did in the past you want to tell me about? Is there anything you want to say, something you've done in the past that you'd like to get off your chest? Okay, we'll start with Kurt.
No, I've come clean with you about everything. As much as Vincent doesn't want to hear it, there's nothing left to say.
Okay, well, I thought it was something else. I really remember him being a jerk in other ways. I thought... Okay, it was just that he had an ex-wife that he doesn't tell me? Really? That's all? I thought it was much more than that. I don't know why I'm remembering things wrong. Or whatever.
However, I will say that Eric over there isn't the saint he makes himself out to be. A little while ago, he barged into my office looking for God knows what. Now, I won't jump to conclusions, even though it seems everyone else here is doing just that.
Oh yeah, and you're not?
But I will say that he spent a lot of time asking questions about you, as opposed to questions about an actual case, which doesn't seem like fitting behavior for a distinguished federal agent.
I agree with you, Kurt. We have been jumping to conclusions a bit, haven't we? I think I know where you're going with that. I'm really sorry, but I don't know if I can believe you anymore. Vincent?
Me? Come on. What could I possibly know that's worth lying to you about?
I don't know everything. Vinny, I was just wondering if there was anything you want to come clean about. If there isn't, then forget I have even asked. I didn't actually say anything about lying. I asked you about dishonesty, which makes me wonder. Why don't you start by explaining everything that Eric just told me?
You know, this is exactly what Larson wants, right? I knew you'd fall into his trap. He'll do whatever it takes to get you on his side, so that he can arrest me on whatever trumped-up charges he comes up with.
It still feels like he's more honest than you, but I don't know. Considering what's going on right now, I don't think he'd need to make any charges, Vincent. Just how is he doing that, Vinny? I was actually hoping you'd be able to tell me what Eric meant when he said you had someone taking care of me.
Larson has a whole story concocted that explains everything he wants you to believe. He says that I know you, that he knows you, and that I killed you. Which of course means that I should go to jail, right? Really convenient how that all works out for him, isn't it? He gets the girl and the collar. It's almost too good to be true, isn't it, Larson?
You're right, it's pretty convenient, a little too convenient. I don't know, Vincent, this all seems so far-fetched. I hope you're being honest with me. It is, but sometimes the most unbelievable stories turn out to be the truth. Eric's in question.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I've told you the truth from day one. Hell, I always tell the truth. It's probably my greatest flaw. The only thing I waited for was the right time to tell you the truth about Vincent, about your past, about everything. And that's also the reason why you saw me leaving the medical office.
Oh, is that why you at the shopping center? I was wondering what you were doing there, so that's why you were so short with me.
I was investigating a hunch, one that explains everything that you can't.
A hunch about something my husband did? Were you investigating my husband? I'm confused. What can't I explain? What hunch is that?
For the past 20 years or so, you've had an acute case of retrograde amnesia. You knew something was wrong, but since your husband was kind enough to fill in all the fabricated details, you were blissfully unaware of that fact.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought it was something more with my husband.
Come on, Larson. This is the real world, not some soap opera.
Actually, it
Next
is.
thing you'll be telling us is that she has an evil twin.
Of course.
You'll have to do a lot better than that if you want to get out of here in one piece.
Seriously, this is a freaking soap opera. It's Desperate Housewives, dude.
That's the first sane thing you've said tonight, Vincent. There's no way she has amnesia. It's not medically possible. Don't lie to the woman, Eric.
Wait. We have known from, like, the first episode that I have amnesia. What is your problem?
Of course, neither of these guys are going to let you believe it, since you discovering the truth isn't exactly in their best interests.
Please tell me more.
That's enough out of you. If you can't answer the questions honestly, then just keep your mouth shut.
Give us a break, Vincent. Haven't we been doing this long enough? Are we done yet? I'm growing weary of all these questions, Vincent. Let's just get on with it.
Yeah, that'll have to do. So now's the big decision. Now that you've heard everything, who do you want to spend the rest of your life with?
I'm sorry, Vincent. I'm not sure what I want in my life right now. It's not exactly the kind of question I can make after only asking 3 questions. Don't rush me!
Sweetie, you really should learn how to make up your mind. I don't have all day. And what's more...
Why do I care about how much time you have?
Hey, quit your squirming. Alright, I've got something I need you to do. Go over there and tighten their ropes. I don't want anyone leaving our little soiree before you have a chance to make your decision.
You're very demanding, Vincent. That's going to get old very fast. I'll do it, but only because I don't want to get hurt. Save. I don't want to have to replay stuff. Hello, save. Okay. Well, we're gonna break here. Because, time is up and stuff like that. And, you know, cliffhanger. Ta-da! We're gonna continue with the ending in the next episode. And stuff like that. Wow, drama! So yeah, there's something more with the husband going on there. So I might have been right, the things I remember. But, we're gonna check out all the endings. No worries. And, well, hope you're enjoying it all, guys, and gals, and everyone. And I'll see you again soon.